Back-to-back carries. He's off to the races
Mike.
again. Can he repeat?
Fumbles it! And Baltimore's gonna run this back! You cannot be serious!
He's gonna take another deep shot. Diving catch, Mason Kirby. What?
That's deflected away!
Oh!
Hey! What a catch! More stepping back, and he's nearly broken down, but it's intercepted! The run for the first down away! Vincent is on his way!
Oh my goodness, it's an embarrassment of riches.
More, and he is to the house. An unreal play.
You're gonna get the look of the
Oh, he got it.
Baltimore walks it off.
Welcome to the Saturday Showcase, presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. I'm Cameron Irvine. He's Mike St. Green, and we're ready to go for Week 2 after an impressive Week 1 across the league. How we doing, Mike?
Hey, doing great, Cam. As you mentioned, Week 1, it was very impressive, and it's also one of the most exciting and unpredictable weeks of the season. But that's why I really look forward to Week 2, because now teams have film on one another. They get a chance to, see what teams did in Week 1, and I'm excited to see what adjustment is going to be made in this week.
It's going to be very interesting to see how teams adjust and all the different matchups that we get to see. We've got some compelling contrasts of styles here in Week 2, and this is how we kick it off. London and Lone Star gets us going here this afternoon on Next Level Sports. London lost to the defending champs last week. Lone Star, an impressive win over playoff-bound Queen City from a season ago. Later today, you'll see Carolina surging, nearly beat Vancouver last week in a shootout. They will take on San Diego, who was impressive in their win over Florida last week. Tulsa, Vegas, LA, Vancouver, part of our bonus coverage today. And go ahead, Mike, you have the floor for Block 1.
Yeah, Cam, that later game, as you mentioned, Carolina at San Diego, that's going to be an exciting matchup later on to catch. But, man, let's start with the Lone Star Glory last week. As I mentioned, an unpredictable week. These guys came out great. Ace Fennick only had 23 pass attempts last week, but he did come down with 306 yards passing and 3 touchdown passes to go along with that. And Lone Star, they usually want to be a ground and pound type team, but they will hit you over the top deep. Ike McBride only had 8 carries, but she had 84 yards and a touchdown as well. So this Lone Star Glory offense, they're kind of bang, 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 and then before you know it, they're going to go over the top. And then let's switch to London. They want to do it with volume, Cam. They want to get Johnny Pickler 40, 50 pass attempts, and they want to overwhelm you with that passing attack. But he's going to be under pressure this week from a great defensive line of Lone Star, Jukin Rukin, Yogi Barr, Bobo Cardell, and Tina Begins. And Johnny was sacked 5 times last week, so that London offensive line will have their work cut out for him again this week.
Yeah, Pickler can keep the turnovers down. We know how dangerous London can be. It's up to Lone Star, who sports Nate Hall, coming fresh off of his first pick 6, and the top 2 tacklers from Week 1. I don't think J Mart's going to be as busy today, Mike, trying to corral Robert Merrill as he was with Jet Zero last week. A completely opposite offense. Going to be really interesting to see how Lone Star combats that. All right, that has been Sim Football pregame. Kickoff is next with Eric Vincent and Cade Stevens on the call. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports.
Next Level Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Week 2 of the Simulation Football League continues here across the pond in Merry old London, England. The London Knights will take on the Lone Star Glory here at the start of Week 2 for the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, live on Next Level Sports. Welcome to Queensway. The Duval boys are here. Eric Benson alongside my best friend Kate Stevens. Max Ball and Shane Kaufman in the stats truck for us this afternoon. A rare afternoon game for these Knights, as it's just past 5:30 local time here in London. Cade, this ought to be a great game between these two teams. Lone Star, a little bit of difficulty towards the beginning there, but just turned on the afterburners. London, the wheels were turning early on, 2-score lead. The wheels eventually fell off against the reigning champs in Baltimore.
Yeah, absolutely, Eric. First off, happy to be here for some Week 2 action. And the story of the game, I've got to imagine, is going to be who can take care of the ball. I mean, both defenses extraordinarily opportunistic. London coming away with about 3 picks in Week 1. Lone Star with 2 themselves. This is going to be on the shoulders of Finnick and Pickler to protect the football and give their teams the best chance to win.
43 degrees here in London at kickoff. Lone Star coming out with the all-whites. And London coming out with their all-reds makes it a little easier for me to see out there on the field.
Easily distinguished, my friend.
Kickoff is coming up right now. So Lone Star will start off with the football. Ace Finnick and his veritable smorgasbord of weapons get the football first. Ball's on the tee, courtesy of JT Delaney. His hand is in the air, and we are ready to go here in the UK. Fielded just inside the 5-yard line, and that'll be a decent return out to the 25 of Lone Star. And that was courtesy of Greg Soto, the return there. And we mentioned Ace Bennett coming out his 4th season in the league, all with Lone Star, an all-star selection in season 16. And he was looking good last week. Only 42 offensive plays for the Glory. But, man, he had 3 touchdown passes, over 200 yards. We'll see what he can do here against this London Knights team. Glory going to start off with an offset eye. Short drop over the middle, caught. That's first down yardage to Greg Soto. And then we'll move the sticks out to the 39.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it exactly right. A great, limited opportunity is all they needed last week for Lone Star to be extraordinarily productive. 16 completions and 306 yards and 3 touchdowns is the product. I mean, what a high-powered offense Lone Star put on the field last week.
1 play, 1 first down. Glory going to the gun this time. Bunch receivers towards the bottom of the formation. Finnick is going to throw near sideline. Tipped and incomplete. Looks like it hit his receiver in the hands, but it falls incomplete. That was Dave Axis, the intended receiver. We'll look at the stars for the Glory here on offense. Ace Finnick, the quarterback. Ike McBride, her 4th season here in Lone Star. Number 34, the running back. Mateo Privado, the fullback. Ziggy Hronek, Greg Soto, Deuce Finnick, and Dave Axis, the wide receivers. Adam Williams, the weapon at tight end, and Rylan Caudill, the center, number 75. Second down, under center, 2 backs in the backfield. Finnick, over the middle, caught. Again, first down yardage. That's Adam Williams. We just talked about him. He's going to be a huge weapon for Finnick here this afternoon.
Yeah, Adam Williams coming up with a big catch and a lot of traffic right there, right in between 3 guys, and goes up. And that's textbook kids right there. He snags it with his hands and brings it in, and that's going to be a first down. They're moving the chains early on this drive, Eric.
3 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown for Adam Williams just a week ago. Finnick, pressure all around him, stands clear in the pocket and incomplete. Good defense by the London Knights on that one, and we will get a look at those stars on the Knights defense right now. Selwyn Lane, Chad Rowland, William Davidson, and Cam Crosby all in the front 4. Jeff Gagne, Tony Roberto, Telly Mac Scarborough, the linebackers. Tanner Hendricks, Brandon Ewing, Emmanuel Blackman, the corners. Anthony Wyo, Jack Russell, and Rain Rie, the safeties. Offset eye again for the Glory. Second down from the 38 of London. Fennick, short drop, quick fires over the middle, caught. That's Williams once again, and that is another first down as they creep closer and closer to the SFL red zone. The 23-yard line is the spot.
Yeah, just to backtrack a bit on what you said about Williams already, over 100 yards last week and a big key piece into the victory that they had. Williams last season, just about 326 yards total on the season, so already a third of that in just the first game of the season. He's looking to be a big part of the offense this year.
We'll see the first carry for Ike McBride, and she'll get out to about maybe the line of scrimmage there, as that was good pursuit by the defense. Jeff Gagne, the linebacker, in there with the stop.
Yeah, good job by Gagne, kind of staying parallel to the line of scrimmage and forcing McBride outside. Makes a nice play on the running back.
Second down now, under 9 to go here in the first period of play. Fennick from the gun has plenty of time. He's going to throw near sideline. That's caught for a first down, and that's Soto once again with another catch. Fennick 4 of 6, 66 yards on this drive. Very productive first drive for the Glory.
Yeah, they're looking really good, slinging it around as Fennick and not having any trouble doing so. His receivers are doing him a lot of big favors here, just going up and getting the football, bringing it in, and he's doing a good job putting it where only they can go get it.
First and goal now from the 8. Fennick is under center. Carry for McBride right up the middle and a big stone wall there at the goal line, and that stops her from getting into the end zone. What a play by the London defense.
Absolutely looked like McBride was going to waltz into the end zone and runs into an absolute wall, and the strong safety Jack Russell coming up with a big hit there on the goal line.
We'll see if they can punch it in on this play from the goal line. McBride, easy touchdown there for the Glory as Lone Star strikes first.
Yeah, what a drive. What a first drive there for the Lone Star Glory, picking up where they left off last week, waltzing down the field, finding their way into the end zone pretty darn quick as just a few minutes have ticked off the clock here in the first quarter, and Lone Star up early on the London Knights at home.
Bravado with a good block there, just clears the way for McBride to just sneak into the end zone for an easy touchdown. Nine plays, 74 yards, capped off with that very close rushing touchdown there. Officially 0 yards from the goal line as the kick for the extra point is up and good. 7-0 now, your score in favor of the Lone Star Glory as they score on their opening possession. But London has a very impressive passing attack themselves, headed by quarterback Johnny Pickler, his second year here in London.
Yeah, second year here in London. First year, which was last year, third in pass yards per game, 370. And you can see, just looking back at last week, they tossed the pigskin around quite a bit. Unfortunately, turned the ball over a little bit to go with it as well. That's something they've got to get cleaned up. And Pickler will tell you more than anybody else. That's some mistakes that he wants to get rid of.
Fox Highwind, the newcomer from Mexico City, with the return as he brings it out to the Knight 28-yard line. And London will take over for their first possession here. Came out to a hot start against the champs last week, but Baltimore just found another gear, and London had difficulty keeping up after that. We'll see what sort of answers they have this week to get their first win of the new season. It's going to be a throw from Pickler to start things off. Far sideline, close to a first down, out at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, you mentioned, Eric, they don't. London doesn't like to run the ball a ton. Ran the ball a grand total of 6 times last week with Robert Merrill, who gained just about 10 yards on the ground. And they are a passing team, and that is, I fully expect to see a lot more of that today. Like I said, more or less, they're just trying to clean up the mistakes that are made under pressure and lean on those receivers to make big plays.
Second and short now. Will be a carry for Merrill as he's got first down yardage out almost to the 40-yard line. Actually, they will mark it at the 40-yard line. Bit of a beneficial spot as we get a look at the Knights on offense. Johnny Pickler, quarterback. Robert Merrill, you just saw there, number 20, the halfback. Mike St. Green, Vin Calia, and Vox Highwind, the wide receivers. Benji Matson, the Hall of Famer Tiberius Bovine at tight ends. Anthony Anderson and Perrin Ibarra at tackles. Fresh set of downs for Pickler as he throws far sideline. That's caught. Good coverage by the Glory on defense as that results in a gain of 6.
Gain of 6 and a nice catch on the outside there as they march on forward. Very manageable 2nd and 4 here.
Pickler's going to be under center. He's got trips towards the top of the formation. Merrill is the lone setback. He will get the carry here, trying to bounce to the outside, but good pursuit by the defensive Lone Star. Freddie Trammell, the linebacker, able to make the stop, and we'll get a look at the Stars on defense for the Glory. Jukin Rukin, Yogi Barr, Bobo Caudill, and Tina Begin all on the front 4. Freddie Trammell, Bogey Barr, and Jay Mart, the linebackers. Jay Mart with a huge game just a week ago. Mickey McGuire, Bo Martin Jr., the corners, Evan Lacey, Albert Begin, and Nate Hall, the safeties. Hall with his first career pick 6 a week ago as well. 3rd down, and that's going to be a 1st down, courtesy of Fox Highwind. A quick pass from Pickler to Highwind, and that'll move the chains once again.
Fox Highwind in his first season coming over from Mexico City, coming up with a big catch right there on 3rd down, and that's going to move the chains for the London Knights.
Moving into Lone Star territory. 6th play of the drive. Empty set for Pickler. Trips towards the top of the formation. Pickler takes a snap. Got to throw it quickly, and that's going to be 1st down yardage out to the 33-yard line. Very efficient so far for Johnny Pickler as Vin Calia makes his first catch.
Yeah, what a catch by Vin Calia, taking a big hit there at the end, holds on to the football, and a nice spot for London as they give them the 1st down.
And that was part of the problem a week ago for Pickler. Pressure in his face, and he made some bad decisions, but so far it's been smooth sailing for the London quarterback. He's going to throw again. 5 for 5 now as Merrill gets the swing pass, but he goes nowhere. Going to bring up 2nd and a long 9.
Yeah, so far I agree. I think he's done a much better decision knowing where to go with the football when the pressure comes. When his 1st and 2nd reads are not there, he knows where his check down is. He knows where his guy across the middle is, and he's finding those receivers.
Pickler from the gun this time, changing things up. Merrill's going to be sidecar left. 3 wideouts in the formation. Pickler, near sideline, got a man. 1st down, yardage and more. Out across near the 20-yard line, but there is a penalty marker on the field. We'll have to see what that is as Bovine makes his first catch of the afternoon. And it's going to be a face mask on the Glory, so that will tack on some additional yardage. That's the big kind, the 15-yard kind, and that's going to move them up nicely into the SFL red zone.
You'll take that all day. It looks like possibly just a little bit. You'll see it on the replay right here. Got a little, well, I'm not too sure, Eric, but got a little bit extra, and they're going to go ahead and call it, and that's going to move them up 15 yards. Nice catch by Tiberius Bovine.
1st and 10 from the 10, so it's a long 10. 5th different target to catch a pass by Pickler on this drive, and that one is his first incompletion of the game as he threw it into traffic, but the Glory respond with an incomplete pass.
Yeah, that was a dicey one as the safety Evan Lacey comes up and almost takes that one away, and what's been a wonderful drive so far, almost for naught after that one.
So the clock stops at 4:10 in the opening frame. Pickler's coming up under center. Pickler with a short drop, has time, going to throw near sideline, dangerous pass and incomplete. That could have easily gone the other way, and Nate Hall had reservations for 6 once again.
Oh, man, you got to be just absolutely beating yourself up if you're Nate Hall. Like you said, Eric, nothing but green grass in front of him, reservations for 6, and all of his friends that want to come with him, I have to imagine, are invited. But, boy, he had an opportunity there and couldn't quite get his arm out there enough to bring that one in.
A perfect play there by Nate Hall. Just sits down, locks his hips there, watches the route develop. And Mike St. Green was ready on the out route, but Nate Hall read it the entire way as that brings up 3rd down. Pickler going to swing it out far sideline, has some room, but again, Nate Hall responds as he stops the receiver short of the line to gain and short of the goal line. as that was McLovin, Rocco McLovin with another catch, his second of the ball game, but that ends up being a 4th down and a short field goal coming up.
Pretty clutch open field tackle by Nate Hall right there on that play, stopping him, like you said, short of the first down and the end zone. And what was a really good drive for the London Knights stalls deep in Lone Star territory. They're having to settle for 3 here.
JT Delaney, the newcomer from Tulsa, able to nail the field goal from 20 yards. And that will cap off a long London drive, 12 plays, 47 yards. And it's capped off with that short field goal attempt there to make it 7-3. So 2 scores by both of these teams. Touchdown for Lone Star on their opening possession. London responds with a field goal. Makes it 7-3 with 3:29 to go as Delaney boots the ball down the field back to the Glory. Soto with the return. Has good blocking, spin move, and he's going to make it out to the Lone Star 30-yard line. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game all into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Bennett under center. He's going to take a long drop, penalty marker on the field. He's going to air it out. He's got his man. That's Williams, the tight end, with a huge catch down the field, but we'll have to see what the marker is.
This may be coming back. We'll have to wait and see. What a heck of a catch, though, by Williams.
Holding, number 22.
Oh, and it's a defensive holding, so the Glory will decline, and the big play will stand. We saw that plenty of times last week against the Queen City Corsairs, and man, oh man, what a play.
Yeah, you'll take that all day long. A fantastic job by Lone Star's offensive line picking up the blitz. London sending extra guys and not able to get home at all. Plenty of time for Ace Finnick as he gets the ball down the field to Adam Williams.
So a couple questionable penalty calls to start things off here, Cade. And Lone Star in business, setting up shop at the London 34-yard line with a fresh set of downs. Fennick, pump fakes, again finds his man. And inside the SFL red zone we go. That's the diva, Dave Axis, with his first catch.
Yeah, Dave Axis, that's a clutch catch over the middle right there. And you've got to be a different breed of receiver to go get the ball over the middle. Dave Axis not afraid to do it.
That's a big body boy right there, 6'2", 210, as he's able to take the hit and hold on to the football for the first down. Fennick with trips towards the top of the formation, pressures in his face. He's going to go down. London gets the first sack of the ball game, and that backs him up to the 22-yard line. A loss of 7 on the play, and that was Selwyn Lane with the sack.
Yeah, Lane, I mean, just absolutely dominates the right tackle on that particular play, gets around, and Finnick not able to step up into the pocket fast enough. Lane takes him down, and yeah, big loss on that particular play for the Lone Star Glory.
Four down linemen for the Knights on defense. Extra defensive backs in the formation to combat this 5-wide look for the Glory on offense. Fennick with time, throws it over the middle, and that's going to be to Ziggy Kronek, his first catch of the ball game, and that's going to be getting up to the original line of scrimmage, just past it at the 14, so it sets up 3rd and 9.
I absolutely love the way that play was drawn up to bring Kronek short. Basically, you're sending all the other receivers deep, and Ronek's running across or short, and unfortunately, he's got to break stride to try to catch that ball, and it just kind of stifles him a little bit there, unfortunately.
Fennick takes the high snap, going to check it down. Good spin move there, and he's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Lone Star. What a play.
Oh, my God. What a move. What an absolute move by Deuce Fennick to get around. He absolutely drills the spin cycle up the field and into the end zone. Somebody with a purpose right there. Deuce Fennick scores the touchdown for the Lone Star Glory.
Ace to deuce connection. We didn't see it all that much. In fact, we didn't see it at all on the stat sheet a week ago. But man, that's one of my favorite combos in the SFL. And what a play there by Deuce to go ahead and get the second touchdown on the board for the Glory.
Oh, I mean, we talk all the time about slipping and sliding and quote unquote the breaking the ankles, but I think Deuce put on a little bit of a show right there. That was something to behold.
James Stroll going to add the extra point there to make it a 14-3 game. Lone Star is just humming on offense, and London needs to respond in a big way here to get themselves back in this ball game.
Yeah, I got to say, just based off of the momentum that definitely sits on the side of the Lone Star Glory right now, London's got to try to find a way to get a sustained drive, get down the field, and try to score a touchdown. They had a really nice drive going for them last time and stalled out deep in Lone Star's territory. They can't afford to let that happen again.
Highwind with the return and a big hit there on special teams by the Lone Star Glory. And London will set up shop at the 26-yard line for their next possession. And Cade, it's hard to say. London had a great offensive drive to start things off, but on defense, the Knights just aren't responding. Lone Star is just hitting on all cylinders, like we said. And London's just got to get back in gear here.
Absolutely, yeah. They got to find a way to get a little bit of momentum going. If the offense can find a way to get down and score some points here, the defense will feed off of that.
And that's a good start right there as Pickler is able to find his receiver. That's the star wide out, Mike St. Green, with his first catch of the ball game, and that'll move the chains.
Yeah, Mike St. Green. I mean, we talked about Dave Axis going over the middle, a guy who's willing to take a hit. Mike St. Green does it with the best of them and sometimes delivers the hit on his own. I mean, just a fun guy to watch.
Very similar build, too. 6'3", 215 for Mike St. Green, as opposed to Dave Axis with the 6'2", 210. So both very similar receivers, able to catch the ball over the middle and get that much-needed extra yardage. Pickler is in trouble. He's going to go down. Lone Star adds a sack to their total. We've had 2 sacks, 1 on each side, and Tina Begin and company gets in there.
Yeah, I mean, just watch the replay right here, and you'll see the penetration coming through the offensive line. Just absolutely no chances. Begin gets in there with a little bit of assistance as well, and just taking down Pickler's got nowhere to go with the football. That clock's got to be going off in your head. If you're Pickler, you got to try to find a way to get rid of the ball. At the same time, I'm sure he's thinking about last week where he doesn't want to turn the ball over, throwing it up into coverage.
Sacked a total of 6 times last week. That was most in the SFL. Pickler was sacked. As he takes one here, he's going to throw it over the middle. Dangerous pass and incomplete. That's number 2 today that he probably wanted back as Bogey Barr bats it to the turf.
Yeah, the rookie Bogey Barr, round 1, pick 11. Bogey Barr coming in here making plays right there as he very nearly takes that one away.
Out of Salt Lake City in the minor leagues, making his impact felt. Sets up a 3rd and long as Pickler comes out in the empty. 4 wideouts, 1 tight end. Quick fires it over the middle, caught but a fumble, and it's still on the turf. I don't know who came up with it. I think London finally covered it up, but it's going to be short of the line to gain, and it's going to be 4th down.
My, oh my, chaos ensued very quickly right there. As you said, yeah, London able to get back on top of that one, and looks like Lone Star's going to challenge to see if maybe there wasn't a fumble, I'm guessing. But
it's been a little bit of a head-scratcher as far as penalty flags, challenge flags, anything involving a flag, man, because I can't see the logic in this one.
No, I imagine that you probably got better field position out of it maybe by I guess maybe you lost about a quarter of a yard. I'm not too sure on that one.
Regardless, we're going to see how this comes out. Looks like Lone Star is going to win that challenge. Not going to be charged a timeout, but we're going to have to see what exactly happened here.
So incomplete pass.
Okay.
Pass.
All right. So that maybe not much of a head scratcher there. I thought it was a bit curious there, but field position, maybe get a few extra yards here on the punt.
They buy themselves a little bit more, like you said, yardage to go ahead and kick this one away.
And that's fielded by Soto, and he's going to go maybe a couple yards forward out to the Lone Star 36-yard line. So good field position. Bennett has been absolutely unstoppable. 7 of 9, 108 yards on a touchdown. Couple passes where you kind of scratch your head a little bit, but otherwise he's been extremely efficient and very, very comfortable in this offense here today.
Oh, yeah, this Lone Star offense has been something to be reckoned with so far. And if you're London, your defense has got to do something here. You cannot allow another sustained drive for a big score.
Offset eye, stumbles coming out of the backfield is Bravado as he gets the screen pass for 3 yards. And that is going to bring us out to the 39-yard line and likely to the end of the first quarter. We'll see if they can get one more play off, and they will not. So it is 14-3 in favor of the visiting Lone Star Glory. It has been all glory so far. We will step aside. Stay with us following the break. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, live on Next Level Sports. Back live at Queensway for the second quarter of action. First quarter was owned by the Lone Star Glory as they have possession of the football here to start things off, but London is able to get their second sack of the ball game as they bring down Fennec for a big loss there. Is going to bring up a 3rd and 14.
Yeah, big sack again. Lane, second sack of the game for London, second sack of the game for Lane, who's doing an absolutely phenomenal job on the right side of that offensive line, getting through for another big play for the London Knights. And this is a pretty massive 3rd and 14 early in this ball game. Your defense trying to do the best they can to reverse the fortunes of early in this one.
Yeah, this is a early big-time 3rd down here as Fennec is going to sling it out to McBride coming out of the backfield, and London played that beautifully on defense. That's going to force the punt, and London will get the football back, being down 11 here in the second quarter.
Yeah, fantastic job by the London Knights on defense right there on 3rd and 14, keying in on the running back screen. Get up, make a nice tackle, and all of a sudden you've got an opportunity to get the ball back.
First punt by the Glory this afternoon, courtesy of LA Sits. And it's a good punt, as looks like St. Green will bring it out. No, excuse me, that's Highwind bringing it out to the 25-yard line. So not bad starting field position there, but definitely flips the field for the Glory as London takes over for another possession. And they got to get some points on the board. Even a field goal here, I think, would be beneficial.
Yeah, a field goal is definitely beneficial. I feel like at bare minimum, you need to find a way to try to sustain something here, even if it's an 8-play drive and you end up having to punt it. I think that's worst case scenario. Obviously, you'd like to get points, but you need to find a way to give your defense just a little bit of a rest.
Delayed handoff there as Merrill gets a rare carry, and he'll plunge forward for a gain of a couple out to the 26-yard line as the Glory front four play that nicely.
Yeah, and not playing any games right there as the linebacker Jay Mark gets up there and makes a nice play.
Pickler under center for the second down. Short drop, has time, throwing it over the middle, got his man, and that's going to be first down yardage to the London 42-yard line, courtesy of Vin Calia.
Yeah, Ben Calia, I love the design of that. I mean, I just get, I know I gush for it when it happens, but it's just absolutely phenomenal job drawing the defense out when they're playing zone, and underneath goes Calia, and it's just an easy completion for the quarterback, Johnny Pickler.
So a fresh set of downs now for the Knights. Pickler going empty. He'll take the snap, steps up in the pocket, pressure around him, finds a man, and that's going to be first down yardage again as they move the chains out to the 44-yard line of Lone Star. And that was Robert Merrill getting in on the action as a receiver. And we talked about this, Kate. He's more of a receiving back than an actual running back.
Most definitely. And they use him in that manner anyways, and he does a fantastic job. He's got great hands out of the backfield. And you saw it right there by Robert Merrill for another first down for the London Knights.
Pickler doesn't waste any time and gets it out to Merrill once again coming out of the backfield, but Lone Star was ready for it. Only a gain of 2, so that brings up second down.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to go right back to him. I can't say I blame him. Just trying to get him a little bit ahead of steam coming out of the backfield and not much doing as the Lone Star Glory defense is all over that one.
Fox Highwind in the chat saying that was an interesting formation. I got to agree with him there. I wasn't sure what to expect coming out of that last formation. Brings up second down as Pickler takes a short drop once again. Far sideline. That's St. Green with the catch. And he gets ushered close to the out-of-bounds marker there. It's going to be a 3rd and 3. There's good coverage out there by McGuire.
Yeah, the cornerback, Mickey McGuire, tried to come up in big boy Mike St. Green, and I'd have to say he was successful on that one with a big hit and absolutely destroying his momentum.
Crucial 3rd down here for the Knights on offense. Merrill coming out of the backfield, but Lone Star stops him right at the line of scrimmage. Great play by the linebacker, Freddie Trammell. Stops him in his tracks, brings up 4th down.
And, you know, I don't hate the idea there. I thought it was a pretty good play call, a very quick pass to get the ball to Merrill out of the backfield, and it looked like he was going to be successful in getting upfield, getting a first down, and a great job by Trammell just absolutely laying the wood. And London comes up short. They've got to punt this one away.
Well, it was a sneaky play call, right? Like, it was one of those plays you're not exactly expecting to see coming as Peter McLongfellow fields the lawn snap. London's special teams back there, but cannot keep it out of the end zone. That'll come out to the 20-yard line.
Oh, awfully close. Yeah, gosh, that was awfully close, and they could have really set him up there, but unable to get that one down, and Lone Star takes over at their own 20-yard line. But yeah, you're right, Eric. It was a sneaky little play there, and just unfortunately unable to capitalize.
Offset eye for the Glory to start things off here. Carry to McBride. She's been very quiet and reasonably so as London is able to sniff that one out. Both these running backs, not a whole lot of rushing here. It's been basketball on grass here this afternoon, man.
Oh, they're slinging this one all over the place. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun to see what these guys can do, and it's a little bit of what we saw last week. And we expected it from London. We didn't know exactly how Lone Star was going to approach this one, but this has been a lot of fun from both sides.
Another carry, and again, London sniffing it out very, very well as Cam Frosby comes up from his defensive tackle spot, makes the stop. Going to be 3rd and long now for Lone Star, and this is exactly what the London defense needed.
Well, we started off with some fireworks from both of these offenses, and then all of a sudden in the second quarter, these defenses have really stood up.
Logical empty set choice for the Glory as Bennett is going to fire it. It's picked off. Going the other way near sideline. Can he beat the offense? And he will. It's a pick 6 for London. Touchdown. Let's go.
Emmanuel Blackman coming up with a massive interception right there, taking it back the other way and punching his ticket for 6. A pick 6 for the London Knights, and that's exactly what they needed to bring themselves back within 1 score of the Lone Star Glory. A massive defensive play.
And a masterful play by the corner to go ahead, and he was locked up man-to-man, but just reading the play and understanding it was going his way, just stops, sits, picks it off to the house.
Yeah, the athleticism required to turn your body and contort in such a way that he did to be able to come up with that football, and not only just come up with it, but find a way to get back to the end zone on the nice return there. I mean, just absolutely fantastic.
I almost lost my voice on that call there, man.
For good reason, for good reason.
You see that bottle of Jack over there? Give that to me. 14 to 10 now your score, as London narrows the gap quickly in a big way with 5:46 to go here in the opening half.
What a turn of events. What the momentum. I mean, you got to feel the crowd just absolutely exploded after being a little quiet, I guess, and you can't say you blame them after the events that have unfolded up to this point, but wow, I mean, all of a sudden you feel the momentum going the other way, Eric.
We'll see how Lone Star responds as they get the football back on offense. Soto returns it out to the 28-yard line. The defense responds quickly in a big way. And, man, it narrows the gap, like I said, to 4. And if London goes ahead and makes another stop here, they can take the lead before the half. And like you said, just flips the momentum completely.
Well, they've got an opportunity. Their defense in the second quarter here has played a lot better than they did early on.
Offset eye, carry for McBride, and she's had very little luck on the ground here today as the London defense has been ready for her. And those rushing yards, man, we've had 9 total yards between both teams.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have said it better than you did. I mean, both of these teams on the ground so far have not had much going at all. But you look at the passing statistics, and they're awfully close. It's been a game through the air for sure.
Hand off again to McBride, trying to get her going, force feed her the ball, and she gets a good carry out to the 34. That's going to bring up 3rd and manageable here for the Glory.
Yeah, very nearly doubles the total right there as we just looked at the previous statistic. But still, I mean, like you said, force feed the ball. McBride is an awfully talented running back. Giving her an opportunity to get up the field, best you can do, and you've given yourself a very opportunistic 3rd and short here.
Bennett instead is going to pass. Pressure's coming in space, and he's going to get a first down out to Dave Axis, and that's going to move the chains close to midfield to the 48.
Yeah, nice job by Finnick, kind of moving his way and working the pocket. That's something that he's always done well, is work his way up the pocket, pressure in his face, and you see him deliver a nice throw up the middle, and they're going to go ahead and move those chains.
Clock creeping towards 4 minutes to go here in the opening half. Fennick under center, 2 backs behind him, 2 receivers towards the bottom of the formation. Fennick quickly throws, far sideline, incomplete, knocked away by the London defense, and that was good play there. Do you have a hot take? Want to show your appreciation for the SFL or show some love to your teammates? The league's new show, SFL Crunch Time, wants to hear from you. Post a video on Twitter with your take or shout out and use the hashtag SFL Crunch Time, and you may just appear on the show this week. Want more details? DM Josh Zirkle on Discord. We'll see you in Crunch Time. Great show, by the way, courtesy of our friend and fellow Toro, Josh Zirkle. Bennett in trouble. Avoids the sack the first time, but goes down the second. As, man, that offensive line did the best to keep him upright there, but that London front 4 was just menacing as Tony Roberto actually gets in for the sack on the blitz.
Yeah, Chad Rowland, I believe, the first one there that unfortunately for him misses the sack, and all day long does Ace Fennick have and nowhere to go with the football. So a fantastic job by the secondary of the London Knights, not giving the receivers any sort of opportunity to get open, and a great job finishing that one up by Chad Rowland and Tony Roberto.
So another 3rd and long here for the Glory. Fennick, deep pass, caught as a diving catch is made by Greg Soto. 3 catches, 46 yards. None bigger than that one. And we will go ahead and get another look at the replay here. Kate, just a great play by Soto, diving catch made.
Diving catch. What a beautiful throw. I mean, steps right into it and delivers the ball. And, unfortunately for London, that just brings a little bit of the wind out of the sails of some nice momentum you had going.
So a fresh set of downs into London territory at the 38-yard line, creeping towards 3 minutes to go. Here in the opening half of play, McBride gets the carry, and London is ready for it. And we're ready for a game break over at SFL HQ. Let's toss it over to Cam Irvine and Mike St. Green.
Thank you, Eric. Vegas' opening possession ends in 6.
Yeah, Cam, Scott Johnson picking up where he left off last week with a 1-yard touchdown run following an impressive first drive from Vegas. They lead Tulsa 7-0.
It's a bright game over there in Nevada. Back to Eric and Cade in the United Kingdom.
Thank you, Cam, as McBride gets another carry, and a very hard-fought carry there. Getting out to the London 30-yard line, sets up a 3rd and short.
Yeah, I do believe that's probably the best run of the day for Ike McBride, as she does an excellent job kind of cutting to the right and bowling over a couple of defenders on her way to a nice gain and a very 3rd and manageable situation here for Lone Star.
Hand off to McBride, 1st down yardage and more as she gets across to the 23-yard line as we hit the 2-minute warning here at Queensway. Lone Star with a 4-point advantage over the hometown London Knights, but they are driving once again to try and get some points on the board to close out the half. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, live on Next Level Sports. Stay with us. Welcome back to Queensway. 1st and 10 from the London 23-yard line with 2 minutes to go. London trying to get a stop on defense here. Bennett has been very, very efficient, minus the pick 6 that got London back into this ball game here. He's been virtually unstoppable through the air as he sets up with 5 wide. Empty set, takes the snap. Bennett is going to find his man over the middle, and that's going to be 1st down yardage, beneficial spot there as he finds Deuce out to the 13-yard line. Into the SFL red zone we go.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a pretty dangerous throw at first, to be honest with you, and then all of a sudden that one actually ended up being pretty darn good. So kudos right there to both Deuce and Ace as they're able to make that one happen.
Offset eye, carry to the fullback, Mateo Privado, as he battles forward to the 18. It's going to be 2nd and 7 coming up here. And Duval boys up here in the broadcast booth. Eric Vincent alongside my best friend Cade Stevens, Max Paul, and Shane Kaufman in the stats truck. Sorry, didn't mean to step on your toes there, man.
You're good. I was going to say, despite the lack of success, Lone Star not willing to give up on the running game, and it's starting to pay out just a little bit for him.
Another carry, this time to McBride, and she goes nowhere as the front four came up and stopped her behind the line. It's going to set up a 3rd and 8, this time from the London 11. And this is a crucial 3rd down here for the Knights. Just even to get a field goal on the board for the Glory would be excellent for the Knights on defense.
That'd be a win.
Bennett airing it out. Corner of the end zone, incomplete. Good coverage out there by the defensive back on Dave Axis. That was Evan Lacey, the free safety. Or no, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong roster
That
here.
was Blackman back there.
Was it Blackman?
I believe so. Back there making a play. Came up big with the pick 6 earlier. It looked like he came back and made another big one right there, knocking the ball away.
I said, give me the jack. I don't give me the hard stuff yet, man. Come on.
It's all good. It's all good.
So 38 seconds frozen on the clock. This is going to be a chippy field goal here for James Troll. High snap, gets it down, and it's going to be up and through from 28 yards. So that's a victory there for the London Knights on defense as they limit the damage to just a field goal, so it's a touchdown lead for the Glory.
Yeah, keep it to a 1-score game, and this will be a pretty big offensive possession right here for the London Knights. Pickler's been pretty good so far in this game. I mean, pretty accurate, good decisions with the football, and that's exactly what they need to continue to happen. And this is a big one right here. They got about 35 seconds. They're not going to have much time getting the ball back, but they do have all 3 timeouts. We'll see if they try to sling this one down.
We'll see how the Knights manage the drive here as Highwind is able to dive forward to the 25-yard line. About the same starting field position they've had virtually all game long. But with 3 timeouts, 31 seconds, it's going to be tough. But with an offense like this, with Johnny Pickler at the helm, they can certainly do it in a hurry.
Oh, for sure. I think I'd be more surprised if they didn't actually try to make a shot because I believe this offense has the capabilities. So we'll see what happens.
Pickler in the gun, Merrill sidecar left, Pickler over the middle, and that's St. Green with the catch. He's going to get 8 yards out to the London 33-yard line, trying to get reset. Pickler snaps it with 18 on the clock, has time, going to throw it far sideline, diving grab, and slides close to the out-of-bounds marker, but that's still going to run the clock. Highwind with the catch, and they're getting closer and closer here. This might be the last play of the half here as Pickler is able to throw it over the middle, and the clock hits triple zeros as we have hit halftime. Lone Star with a 7-point advantage on the London Knights. Coming up on the APM Music Halftime Report, Cameron Irvine, Mike St. Green of the top 10 plays from week 1, plus update you on the action going on in Nevada between the Tulsa Desperados and the Las Vegas Fury. Part of our bonus coverage here today on Next Level Sports. It's all coming up on the APM Music Halftime Report following this commercial break. Stay with us on Next Level Sports.
Welcome to the SFL Halftime Report presented by APM Music, and it's a 17-10 ball game at the break between the Lone Star Glory and the London Knights. London settled in, Mike. What are your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, Cam, this is a very interesting first half, very competitive as well. Lone Star Glory came out, guns a-blazing, really had the London defense on their heels a little bit with a couple of long drives there in the first half, capped off that first drive with Ike McBride touchdown run. That was followed by a long drive from London. They couldn't cash it in and had to settle for a JT Delaney field goal there. But London's defense finally settled in a little bit, were able to get a pick six and get the team back into the game. But Lone Stars, they've done a great job of keeping this offense in check and keeping them off the field for the most part with the continued drives that they've had.
Breaking news, Mike. Douglas Brown is done for the day with an arm injury in the first quarter. Tulsa's down 7-0. The road from the bottom is a long one. That's surprising. What a devastating blow. That's why having two running backs can be a big deal in the SFL.
Yeah, definitely, guys. We know Louisiana, they're employing the two-back system, and Douglas Brown, the first overall pick, man, it's tough to see him go down this early in the game. It's going to be a tough road for Tulsa to get out of this game.
All right, well, we'll have more reaction to Lone Star London and Tulsa Vegas coming up, but right now let's take a look at the top 10 plays from week one. Mike, it was such an exciting opening week, one of the most exciting we've had in years. Just so many competitive games, wild plays.
Yeah, and really it was tough to just put down too, and it's usually that way every week, Cam, but week one of the season 18, man, it was incredible plays and incredible players making plays all weekend long. It's going to be interesting to see how the top 10 hashes out. I
had about 16 of them clipped, and it was very challenging to find the best 10 or the most deserving 10. Here they are, top 10 from week one. If you missed any of the action, we've got you covered.
Get back to that all-star game this season, and he's off to a good opening campaign. 82 yards, 9 yards per carry today so far. Jacksonville will have to try and answer that. They'll try and do it immediately. Off to the right-hand side and off to the races. Jacksonville trying to match the score right away. Down the sideline is Ellington. 5, touchdown, Jacksonville. Kingston Ellington puts the Kings in front again.
With plenty of football left to be played. 6 defensive backs for Houston. Synergy, pump fake, under pressure. Throws it over the middle of the field, and that is caught somehow in double coverage. A tremendous grab at DC in plus territory now.
From the pressure there, throws it down the field. My goodness. Looks to throw toward the near side. That is caught in traffic, and down the sideline he goes. That's Gunnar Lewis. He's down inside the 20, shakes up another tackle, 80 yards to the mark. Gunnar Lewis has his second touchdown of the ball game, and San Diego take their biggest lead in franchise history.
Run after the grab by Gunnar Lewis there, shakes one, breaks a tackle, has miles of space. The only guy that can bring him down is Andrew Francis. Gunnar Lewis is like, nah, I'm just gonna keep going.
Behind him. Drew to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Pass is gonna be deflected, and it's gonna be intercepted. Rochelle Colston. That was crazy. That was like a volleyball setup.
Look at that closing speed.
Down by 3 scores. Pickler alone in the gun, the new franchise quarterback for the new look London Knights, trying to engineer a comeback. Pickler swatted an interception. 4th interception of the game for this Baltimore defense. Alvin Mack off to the races. Only one man can stop him. Now he's got a convoy. Alvin Mack all the way to the house. Baltimore will ice it with a pick 6 from the linebacker, Alvin Mack.
The air, and it seems like it took him about a half hour to get to the end zone, but he got great blocking from his teammates, able to cut off some of those defenders trying to make the play, and Alvin Mack gets his first career pick 6, one more than Hall of Famer Eddie Gage, and Baltimore just broke this.
Jacksonville will punt it away. Portland will receive and try a little bit of a return. And now off to the races off the left side. Oh, he's going to go across midfield, across the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Portland. Leo Morris has the first score of season 18 on a punt return for the Fleet.
12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Visit NLSC.com to find Next Level Sports in your area, as that's a big play for Logan Jack, who slips a defender, and he's got one man to beat. He turns on the Afterburners. 10-5, touchdown Carolina. The answer right back with one play.
Play right there by Logan Jack, just absolutely phenomenal job breaking through, breaks another tackle down the field, and just rumbles into the end zone. And like you said, Carolina answers right back, no problem.
Still want to get closer, and you still want to get that 6.
And Wilson back to throw. What a play! What a play by the defense for Fort Worth. He could go all the way. He's run down the sidelines, and he's not. But what an interception by Frank Bernstein. He is one of the 4 rookies on this Fort Worth defense, getting his first interception of his career.
100 yards out of the 189 that Richardson has in the game. Richardson throws it inside, and guess who? Unbelievable. Goalkeeper Chris Lee makes the catch. Maybe, yeah. Solo Richardson gonna throw it inside. Chris Lee, touchdown!
Wow. Hand off to Ike McBride. She's got way more than -3 on this carry. She breaks a tackle. There she goes again. 10th play of the game for Lone Star, and another touchdown.
Amount of plays. They have just made game-breaking, mind-blowing plays with 10 offensive plays so far here in the second half. Just started, and we kick it off with this, a beautiful run by Ike McBride.
And that's your top 10 plays of week 1. Mike, any disagreements? Anything you would have flipped the order on?
Well, I have my idea as to why number 1 was number 1. I just think you like hearing the sound of your voice being number 1. But what stood out to me, Cam, it made me miss my return days when I saw a couple of kick and punt returns in there. Made me want to go back to being a kick returner.
Yeah, Portland and Jacksonville were full of them. Riley Quintero had one in the Denver game too, but Kingston's broken tackle and cut just a little bit more impressive between the two. And I got to say, Mullinex's reaction to McBride's run wasn't too bad either. Lots of fun plays. 14-7. We've had a couple of long plays. We're going to show you our TV audience Scott Johnson's ridiculous run from earlier. But Tulsa just got a pick 6 without Douglas Brown. They're hanging around in the first half, Mike.
Yeah, Cam, that's definitely going to help them stay in this ball game. It was a huge play by the defense at King Rashad with a huge pick 6 to keep them in it. Vegas had been dominating thus far in the first quarter because we're still very early in that game. So maybe that can get them turned around and get them back in the game.
King Rashid with his first career pick 6, and we've got 2 teams now to start week 2 that have pick 6s but are trailing with offenses struggling a bit. Lone Star leads London 17-10, but the Knights get the ball to start the second half. This has been your APM Music Halftime Report, and we'll be back to Queensway after this.
Back live from Queensway in London, England. Duval boys up here in the booth. Kate Stevens, my best friend, alongside Eric Vincent. Max Paul and Shane Kaufman in the stats truck for us this afternoon. London only having 1 touchdown on defense, 0 offensive touchdowns to speak of so far, as they will get the football to start things off here in the second half. Cade, what kind of adjustments do the Knights need to make here on offense?
Well, they get the football back first, and they have plenty of opportunity here. They just need to settle down a little bit. I mean, this is a high-powered London passing attack. They don't lean very much on the run game. They just need to take the easy completions early, build a little bit of rhythm, deliver the ball downfield, and let Johnny Pickler do what he does well. Find those weapons on the outside.
He's going to fire it on the inside this time, and that's going to be a catch. Good chunk of 7 yards out to the London 36-yard line. That's another catch for the Hall of Famer Tiberius Bovine.
Tiberius Bovine coming over in his first season with the London Knights, the storied tight end in the SFL. I mean, Pickler, if I'm him, I've got to be beyond excited when I found out the news he was coming over.
Plenty of weapons for Pickler to work with here in London as he finds another one there for a first down. That's Mike St. Green with another catch, and that will move the chains for London. Good start so far here in the second half.
And this is exactly what I mean, Eric, by take the easy ones early. That's exactly what he's done. He's not tried to force anything so far. He's taken what's been given to him by Lone Star's defense, and sometimes it's 3 yards, sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's 7, but you take what's there and you got a first down.
4 catches, 30 yards for St. Green. Delayed handoff, this time to Merrill, as he will plow forward to the 43-yard line for a short gain. And it looks like, Cade, they're taking your advice. They're dinking and dunking a little bit, not necessarily looking for the deep shot, letting the offense develop, and then maybe take the deep shot over the top of the defense.
Exactly, and this is the perfect way to do it, because you're actually getting the completions in an effort of trying to take the easy shot. So what's going to happen is they're going to set up what looks like an easy underneath route, and Pickler's going to go over the top for a big-time play before too long.
And they've tried to run that play a couple different times there as Merrill gets stopped behind the line. It's a little bit of a sneaky screen play coming out, but Lone Star has responded beautifully to that play call, and that sets up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, the Robert Merrill out of the backfield has been almost a non-factor for London in this game. As you said, Lone Star's done a great job slowing that down.
Pickler trying to find first down yardage and does. His receiver's going to get into Lone Star glory territory, and that is a catch by Fox Highwind as he moves the sticks to the 43.
Absolutely threaded that one through the defense. As you see, he's got all kinds of room to step up and finds Highwind over the middle and just puts it right where it needs to be. Highwind, big-time catch, and a first down for the London Knights as they move into Lone Star glory territory.
And we've talked about a very efficient day for Pickler here this afternoon as he's completed 19 passes so far. There's number 20 as a good spin move there. And that's the tight end, Benji Matson, the second tight end in this offense. Still a very viable weapon for Pickler as he's going to set up a 2nd and 2.
Oh, big-time tight end is Benji Matson, and nice to see him showing up here today as he makes a big catch right there, tries to spin into it, and really lays the wood down offensively to try to move forward right there.
From the gun, Pickler, good pocket. Throws it behind the line of scrimmage. A penalty marker is on the field as St. Green makes the catch and is tackled in the backfield. We'll have to see what the penalty marker is, but just a very strange play coming out of that.
Holding, number 56.
And it's going to be a holding on the defense, and that's going to set them up with a first down there. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down for the London Knights.
Absolutely best case scenario after what looked like a botched play just beforehand is unfortunately all of Mike St. Green's momentum had him leading back into the backfield, and they would have lost a considerable amount of yards. Instead, they've got the ball first down at the 29-yard line of Lone Star.
London trying to even things up here at home against the Glory. Deep pass, far sideline caught. High points the football over the defender, and that's down inside the 10 to the 7. Vin Calia.
Vin Calia with a big-time play over the defender, goes up and gets that one, and an absolutely phenomenal job being physical with the football and taking that one away from the defender. Just a great job by him. Had a touchdown last week and a nice showing from him. He's coming out again and had a nice game so far here today.
We've had a couple catches like that in back-to-back weeks here, my friend, as Pickler's going to throw it short over the middle as that's caught by Highwind. No, excuse me, that's Bovine with the catch. It's going to bring up 2nd and short from the 4. We had one last week. Heath McDaniel Jr. just mossed Ashley Rose Finch for a big gain, and that was a huge one there by Kalia.
Yeah, that was outrageous, and another one into the category of outrageous right there by Kalia. Just a phenomenal job.
2nd and goal. Pickler gonna sidearm it into traffic and incomplete. He was looking for Bovine in the end zone there. Pickler's like, yeah, that one's on me. Sorry, man.
I think he knows you got to put some mustard on that thing. I mean, they just sat in the air a little too long, gave the defender a chance to close in on it, and unfortunately not able to come up with it after the big hit from the strong safety Albert Begin jars the ball loose. If he can put that in there and a little bit of a tighter, just put some mustard on thing, a little Texas Pete hot sauce, and that thing is in there, and that might be a touchdown.
3rd and goal now. Empty set. Pickler over the middle. Back of the end zone. Touchdown. Mike St. Green. And they're an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Not taking any chances that time as St. Green comes up with a nice catch in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. In London coming up with exactly the drive that they needed to start this second half. Long, sustained, and they did a phenomenal job getting down the field and coming up, capitalizing in the end zone with a touchdown. Mike St. Green, big catch, and this is a big extra point right here.
MSG with the big catch there. 11 plays, 66 yards. Capped off with that 4-yard passing touchdown from Pickler to St. Green. And now Delaney will try and tie the score up at 17. And he does by splitting the uprights with the extra point. So we got ourselves a ball game. London finally on the board offensively as far as touchdowns go. They had a pick 6 earlier in the first half that got them going, momentum speaking. And Lone Star will have to respond now.
Yeah, and that drive was absolutely something else. I mean, just a phenomenal effort, long sustained drive, got down the field, scored. I mean, that if you're the London Knights sitting at halftime talking about what you need to do to start the second half of the game, that's got to be textbook right there.
Greg Soto with the return out to the Lone Star 27-yard line. We've got a game break. We're going to send it off to SFL HQ with Cam Irvine and MSG himself. Cam.
Thank you, Eric. Mike, Scott Johnson with the best play of the day so far.
Yeah, Scott Johnson here. Cam taking it off of left tackle, takes it and breaks a couple of tackles. Every time he thought this guy was going to go down, he breaks another tackle, runs away from a tackle there. He had a huge week last week, 203 yards, another 70 yards added to it right here. They were up 14-10 in the third.
Tulsa's hanging around. Back to Eric and Kate in London.
Thanks, Cam. What a rumble there by Scott Johnson to get into the end zone. And that's a tight one over there on the league's Twitch page. You certainly don't want to miss any of the actions. But if you do, we do have our league YouTube page for you to check out all those juicy highlights and all that good stuff. Live games as well. Plenty of good stuff out there. Simulationfl is the channel page, youtube.com/simulationfl. As McBride gets carry out to the 32-yard line. Short gain. That's going to set up a 3rd and 6 for the Glory.
Yeah, towards the end of the first half there, Lone Star really committed to continuing to give Ike McBride the football, and it started to pay dividends a little bit. Early on in the game, they weren't getting more than 1 to 2 yards a clip, and all of a sudden, it started working a little bit here as they're starting to get 3, 4, 5 yards.
Fennick, got to throw it far sideline, cannot get the first down. There was a clutch catch by Deuce Fennick, but he stumbles out of bounds short of the line to gain. That's going to bring up a 4th down.
The Fennick to Fennick connection almost coming up real big again right there, Eric. As you said, unfortunately, it just leads him a little too far outside and out of bounds. Does Deuce go, not able to get across that first down marker. And for the London defense, a 3-and-out forced after a big drive to start the second half. This is a big swing in momentum here.
LA Sights with the punt. Fielded by High Wind and brings it up to the London 30-yard line. So this has been a quarter controlled by the Knights. They took off almost half of the quarter with their only possession, and then they force a 3-and-out by the Lone Star Glory on defense. So the momentum clearly in London's favor right now as they set up shop at the 30 with a chance to take the lead.
Yeah, going to be a big deal to kind of stick to your guns and what you did successful on the last drive.
Pickler starts off under center. He's going to throw it. Has first down yardage. That's to Bovine, as he's been a popular target here in the second half of action. And that'll be out to the London 41-yard line.
Yeah, coming up with a big catch over the middle. It's something that these receivers for London have done extraordinarily well is catch the ball in traffic, take a hit, and hang on to the ball. And it's paid dividends for them on their extended drives that they've had.
3 wideouts for Pickler to work with in the gun. Over the middle, picked off! Lone Star responds on defense themselves as Evan Lacey with the clutch interception gives the football back to the Glory on offense.
Yeah, Evan Lacey, I mean, what more can you say about Evan Lacey coming up with a massive turnover right there? We talked about the momentum shifting for London, and Lacey had something else to say about that. Had an interception last week in the game as well, and has one in week 2. He's now got back-to-back weeks with at least 1 interception and a big turnover for the Lone Star Glory as they now have an opportunity to try to capitalize.
Bennett, handoff to McBride, and McBride again unable to get out of her own end of the line of scrimmage. We got a game break. We're going to toss it over to SFL HQ with Cam Irvine and MSG.
Thanks, Eric. With Doug Brown out for Tulsa, Scott Johnson's taken over. Look at the blocking on this play, Mike.
Yeah, Cam, Scott Johnson's having a huge day, another 31 yards here, but he's not doing it alone. That line of Las Vegas is giving him all type of room to work, and they go up 21-10 in the second.
21-10. Ike trying to get going, but another third down coming up for Lone Star. Back to Eric Kincaid, United Kingdom.
Thank you, Cam, and it has been tough sledding here for the star running back of the Glory. And Cade, arguably, that was probably her best run, but still just not a ton to speak of on the ground as this London defense bearing their teeth.
Yeah, she's had a couple of really impressive ones, albeit not extraordinarily lengthy to go with it. But, I mean, here we go. I mean, you've leaned on her long enough. This is probably the biggest third down you're going to have.
7-step drop. Bennett is in trouble. He's going to go down. London gets to him once again. And that was pretty much the entire defensive front four getting in there on the stop. But guess who? It's Selwyn Lane again as the primary.
Yeah, third sack of the game, whether they give him the full one or not entirely sure. But Chad Rowland, once again, there to help him out, so maybe a half for each. But Lane, been in the backfield most of the day, and way to go. The London Knights defense standing up big time after the offense turns it over, and no blood on that one.
Penalty marker on the field as London almost gets to that punt. Highwind will get the return and be stopped right in his tracks. We'll see what the laundry is all about.
Clipping, number 43.
Ooh, and the infamous clipping call coming from the Zebras here today, and that's going to go against Lone Star. So that'll be better field position for the London Knights following this break. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, live on Next Level Sports. Stay with us. So Lone Star going to get another opportunity to punt the football away following the penalty, as Lone Star accepted the clipping call in an effort to get better field position here from this punt. LA Sites boots it away. High wind with a very minimal return, but much better field position as they're setting up shop at the London 44-yard line. Gade, we talked about it over the break. They're like a popular Cranberries song. They're lingering, although the Cranberries are Irish, come to find out.
They would like to let it linger, come to find out, as they find a way to stick around in this game. Not just stick around, London's found a way to tie this up and now have an opportunity with fantastic field position at their own 44-yard line to try to get down and take the lead.
Pickler under center for this first down. Delayed handoff. Merrill with the carry, and he's going to get a couple yards there as the linebackers were ready for him. That was Mart and Trammell combining in there on the stop.
As you saw right there, the commitment to the run for both teams not extraordinarily there. I mean, they're putting up roughly around the same numbers, both averaging around 2 to 2.5 yards a carry.
Yikes. Pickler from the gun. Over the middle, caught, first down yardage. And Bovine again with another catch. He has had a ton of targets here in the second half, and he's caught virtually all of them. This one, a big one for a first down.
Yeah, I believe just one catch in the first half, and then all of a sudden, Tiberius Bovine been the hot target for Johnny Pickler in the second half. He's done a fantastic job coming up with a couple of big ones. And once again, they're moving the chains down to the Lone Star 37-yard line.
5 catches, 43 yards for the Hall of Fame tight end, the newcomer here to this London Knights offense. Pickler under center again. He's going to hand it off to Merrill, and again, the Lone Star defense was ready for it as Nate Hall knocks him down in the backfield for a loss of 2. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for links to apparel from Sector 6, the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League, and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. Sector 6 features replica team jerseys and completely customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more. Get the gear the fans wear with Sector 6, 97 Sports Promotions, and the SFL, as Kalia gets a pass on the far sideline there. He was wide open and able to scoot ahead to the 22-yard line for another fresh set of downs.
Fantastic job taking advantage of the soft defense that Lone Star put out there right there. Kalia does a great job coming underneath. Makes a nice catch, gets upfield, and is finally taken down by Evan Lacey and Bo Martin Jr.
London is humming here on offense. All the momentum in their favor. Starting to play a complete game here in the second half, throwing a pick on their last possession, but the defense responds and forces a 3-and-out. Trying to get into the end zone here as Pickler is going to check it down quickly to Merrill. It was a dangerous pass as Yogi Barr sniffed out the screen impeccably, but that's going to be a loss of 3 regardless, second down.
A dangerous pass, I got to agree with you 100%. I think if Barr gets off his block just a half a second sooner, he has a chance to possibly take that one away. And after all of the success you've had on this drive, that's obviously not what you want to do. So facing a second and long 25-yard line.
Pickler, far sideline, close to a first down as Kalia makes another catch in that neck of the woods. That's going to set up a 3rd and 3 for London at the Lone Star 15. And that is going to be the end of the third quarter of play. 17 all here at Queensway in London, England. You don't want to miss the ending. Get your 4s up, get your 86s up, wherever you are. We got one more quarter to play in the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, live on Next Level Sports. Back with the fourth quarter of action here at Queensway. 3rd and 3 for the London Knights. Pickler is under center. He's going to hand it off to Robert Merrill, who gets stopped in the backfield. Lone Star closes in quickly and makes the stop, as that was Albert Begin getting in there for the loss, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and a field goal try for London.
Yeah, I don't hate the play call. I mean, obviously the run game is not what has got you to where you are at this point, but it seemed like a logical thing that maybe you'd catch Lone Star sleeping, and it just didn't work.
So JT Delaney is going to set up for his 2nd field goal attempt, a shorty, and that's going to be up and through from 34 yards to take the lead for the London Knights. Still all momentum in favor of London, as they have just taken firm control of the football game here in the second half.
Yeah, London really done a fantastic job finding a way to get on top, and I mean, the fight to get back there once down 14-3, and now they find themselves 20-17. It's still a little bit of a moral victory, if you believe in that sort of thing, for Lone Star, as they're able to hold them to just 3 points. They've got an opportunity to go right back down the field and either tie or take the lead back.
Soto with the return, trying to bounce it to the far sideline, but will get out to the 30-yard line and no more. Eric Vincent alongside my best friend Kate Stevens, Max Paul and Shane Kaufman helping us out in the stats truck, making us sound smarter than we actually are, which we appreciate.
Absolutely fantastic.
And it's been a great afternoon of football here in the UK, as the hometown London Knights have a 3-point advantage over the visiting Lone Star Glory, trying to respond after a Week 1 loss to the champs in Baltimore. Handoff, McBride burying defenders, and she's off to the races. Is anyone going to catch her? 30, 25, 20, 15, tackled right near the 10, inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. What a rumble by Ike McBride.
Ike McBride with the rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, finding her way down the field. Not just her best run of the game, but her best run of the season as she finds her way down. Just what a phenomenal effort by her getting down the field. And that's exactly, if you're Lone Star Glory, what you need to have happen. And wow, you're right back in the game, and all of a sudden you feel a little bit of that air come out of the stadium just a little bit, as these local fans in London are wondering what the heck just happened.
Big time tackle there to save it for the defense of London, as McBride gets a swing pass coming out of the backfield this time, and she'll make it out for a gain of 6 out to the London 2-yard line. And I was trying to figure out who that was on it was the far corner, I think, that had come over and had made the stop for London to save the touchdown, and just a huge hustle play there.
Oh yeah, big time, big time.
Bennett gonna hand it over to McBride, and McBride is in the end zone. Touchdown Lone Star as they take the lead.
And an answer in minimal time. Lone Star finds their way down the field on the heels of Ike McBride, and into the end zone do they go to take the lead right back from the London Knights. And all of a sudden, momentum. What momentum?
Owen Lane with a huge hustle play to make the tackle from his defensive end spot, saves the touchdown from McBride on that long carry, but it doesn't matter as McBride finds the end zone anyway. And Lone Star is an extra point away from taking a 4-point lead. And that is up and through, courtesy of James Troll. So 24-20 now, as we score two fairly quick scores from both of these teams here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, both of them not really wasting a whole lot of time there, to be honest with you.
Troll is ready to go as his hand is up in the air with his unique kicking style and boots it straight down the field to Fox Highwind, who fields it inside his 5. Trying to find blockers, bouncing it near sideline, and a good return out to the 31-yard line. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. SFLnetwork.com. 9:09 to go here in the ball game. London down by 4. Good laser there over the middle by Pickler, as that's close to a first down again. That's Bovine's neck of the woods. He has been all over that area of the field here in the second half.
Yeah, nice job by Pickler finding Bovine over the middle. And I mean, I don't think it can be overstated enough that this is a massively important drive for the London Knights. And I think I got to imagine best case scenario, Eric, you find a way to burn some clock before you turn this ball back over to the Lone Star Glory, preferably with 7 points in your favor when you do.
Delayed handoff to Merrill, who gets the first down. Out across the London 45-yard line. McBride finally turning on the afterburners here in the second half of play as she eclipses the century mark. But Merrill, not much of a runner, as his damage is usually done coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, 5-yard carry for Merrill right there was his longest of the game. But, you know, when they need him the most, he finds a way to get it done.
Empty set for Pickler with a fresh set of downs. Throws it, slants, caught. First down, Kalia is going to move the chains.
Another big name that we've called many times in this game is Vin Kalia, who's come up with another big one right there. He's got 6 catches, 86 yards after that one, and a phenomenal effort by him. 6 for 6, 6 targets, 6 catches, and coming up with some big ones in this one.
Pickler in the gun. Merrill sidecar left, steps up, throws far sideline, toe drag, swag, and I believe that was MSG with the catch, as he's going to get it out to the 39-yard line before he falls out of bounds.
Yeah, nice. I mean, on first down, you'll take that anytime. Nice 4 or 5 yard gain out to the sideline. Mike St. Green coming up with a nice catch.
Second and 6 now. London content with chewing some clock. Going the dink and dunk route, trying to see if anything is over the top. But again, another good out route by Mike St. Green. And again, he gets those tippy toes in bounds. Short of the line to gain, but it sets up a 3rd and short.
Hey, that's 2 in a row outside to Mike St. Green. Hey, listen, if it's me, if it's working, let's go. Let's make it 3. Let's make it 3.
Sixth play of the drive. Trips towards the top of the formation. Pickler under center. Merrill, the lone setback. Delayed handoff. We've seen that a couple different times, and Merrill is able to get just enough for the first down to extend the drive to the Lone Star 33-yard line.
And a nice run by Merrill. And then that's just another example of Merrill getting it done when Merrill needs to get it done. And we talked about this early in the game, and we've talked about it throughout the game, is they don't go to him a lot on the ground. They don't run the football a lot, do the London Knights. But when they do, when they need it, just a couple of yards, Merrill gets it done.
From the gun, Pickler again throwing far sideline, and again finding his star wideout, MSG, for a good gain of 6 or 7 yards. This one for 7 out to the Lone Star 26.
And Mike St. Green, like you said, Eric, just continues to eat up the right side of that field right there. And I got to imagine if you're the Lone Star Glory, secondary-wise, you got to key on to that at some point, realizing that he's just going to keep taking what you're giving him.
Heavy formation. Might see a run play by Merrill. Instead, Pickler will throw, and it's a short pass just to get enough for the first down. And again, Mike St. Green, he's been a popular target on this drive. And again, extending the drive, moving those chains close to the SFL red zone, right at the 20-yard line.
Honestly, what's been the most impressive for me for London coming from week 1 to week 2 has been that Johnny Pickler has done such a great job with the football. And that is, he's been decisive, knows where he wants to go with it, and his receivers have gone out and made some big plays for him.
And he's got tons of weapons to work with as he hands it off to Merrill, and Lone Star is ready for it. Burying him in the backfield is Yogi Barr as he got off his block in a hurry and tackles the running back behind the line.
Absolutely phenomenal job by Yogi Barr. Just didn't even stand a chance, did the offensive line, as he's in the backfield. And unfortunately for Merrill, is just as soon as he gets the ball, realizes that his fate is not a good one.
I thought the guard might have gotten a hand on him, but I don't even think he got a hand on him. Yogi was just off the line in a hurry. Sets up 2nd and long. Pickler swings it out to Merrill. Buries the first defender, but gets ushered out of bounds by the second, that one being Jay Mart. And it's going to get some of the yardage back. Actually, get all of the yardage back and then some out to the 17. It'll be 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, you'll take that anytime. You get a little bit more than half back of what you had lost, and you'll take that. So 3rd and 7, 17. I mean, we've seen London in this situation a few times today where they can drive all the way down into Lone Star's red zone and not take advantage. This is a key time they need to do it.
Big time 3rd down. Pickler finds his man inside the 10, inside the 5. Actually, they'll mark him right at the 5-yard line. 1st and goal. And a big catch by Fox Highwind, Cade.
Yeah, just a quick up the middle and a rub. Fox Highwind finds his way up, makes a big catch in traffic. That is a big boy catch, Eric, as he comes up with a nice one right there and a massive 1st down at the 5-yard line.
12th play of the drive. Chewing up a ton of clock here are the London Knights as they set up with 1st and goal. Merrill delayed handoff and pushes the pile forward down to the 1-yard line, setting up 2nd down.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You got to be on your heels just a little bit if you're the Lone Star Glory, but man, oh man. The London Knights coming alive here in the second half offensively and just absolutely dominating. It's just, the sustained drives have been just so much fun to watch.
Pickler gonna swing it out. Merrill's got one man to beat and he won't do it. He's knocked down behind the line, and Jay Mart with another clutch tackle on this drive sets up 3rd and goal.
Boy, oh boy, I thought Merrill had the pylon. I really thought he had a clear angle there. And Jay Mart, with just the closing speed that he has, comes up with a massive tackle for a loss right there.
Big time 3rd down here for both teams. Pickler, end zone, touchdown, London. Tiberius Bovine with the big touchdown snag, and he puts London back out in front.
Puts London out in front, and it puts that ball back to life as he performs CPR after the touchdown, trying to get that ball going. And what a drive right there for London. An absolutely fantastic job by them, capitalizing on the opportunity to get back in this one and to take the lead back from the Lone Star Glory. 3:34 on the clock. And this London defense, they got a lot of weight on their shoulders at the end of this one.
Delaney with the extra point here to make it a 3-point advantage. High snap, but it gets down, and it's up and through. 27-24 now as the London Knights jump back out in front with 3:34 to go here in regulation. They started that drive with 9:15 on the clock, Kay. They chewed up almost 6 minutes of clock going all the way down to pay dirt.
That's a couple of drives in this game they've done that on. The last scoring drive prior to that one, I believe it was a very similar situation where they really just ate up a ton of clock. The London Knights, I mean, they've been doing what they need to do. They've really chewed up this Lone Star defense. And, wow, I'm impressed. I'm just really, really impressed.
Soto with the return. We've got a game break. Kicking it over to Cam Irvine and MSG at SFL HQ. Cam.
Thank you, Eric. Mike, Tulsa just cannot get Vegas off the field today.
Yeah, Cam, they've had trouble getting off the field, and one reason is Joseph Green. He's had a solid day today. Here he finds Mason Kirby in the back of the end zone and puts Vegas up 28-13.
Bonus coverage of that game in Nevada after we're done in London. Back to Eric and Kate.
Thanks, Cam. Vegas with a firm hold of that one as of right now, but plenty of time on the clock for Tulsa to get things going. Meanwhile, over here, we've had a back-and-forth affair between these two teams. I mean, just juggernauts, especially offensively, but we've had some great defensive plays as well here today. A pick six by London to have themselves up in front, and that's another opportunity, but incomplete. London could have came up with another interception, but it falls to the turf. It brings up 3rd down. What a play.
Oh, my gosh. Jeff Gagne has an opportunity at it. I believe bounces it in the air, and Tony Roberto almost able to come up with it. And, wow, what an opportunity that would have been for London to take that one away. And I don't think anybody's stopping them. That's probably in the end zone if they do.
Lone Star with another opportunity. Third down, Fennec. Gonna throw near sideline and incomplete. Again, the London secondary was ready for it as Emmanuel Blackman, who had the pick six earlier in the ball game, able to bat the football away.
Well, he was trying to sniff out another one there, Eric. There was just a moment in time where he probably saw everything flash before his eyes, ready to try to get his second to the game, and unfortunately that one just a little bit too high in the air. And definitely, unfortunately for the Lone Star Glory, they've got to punt this one back to a London Knights offense that is just absolutely on fire right now.
Seitz won't have any pressure. He gets it away. High wind with the return. And he's going to make it out close to the 40-yard line to the London 38 with 2:47 on the clock. We mentioned it, Kate. It's been back and forth all game long. The rushing attack for Ike McBride getting going just this quarter, honestly, with a huge rumble by her. But otherwise, both these running backs have been stone cold, and the passing attack has been on fire.
Absolutely. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, they've done everything right that they need to do here towards the end of the game, and this is their opportunity to try to put it away.
Pickler. Short throw near sideline, and that's going to be a catch out to the 46-yard line for a gain of 8. As we get a look at a couple weapons there for the London Knights, Kalia and Bovine both with very impressive clutch catches, especially in the second half.
Second half, yes, absolutely. It's been phenomenal for both. And right here, you know, if you're Lone Star, you got to try to find a way to make sure Kalia does not find his way into the open field again, because Kalia has been a big problem for him.
Pickler under center. Delayed handoff to Merrill. Lone Star ready for it. Brings up a 3rd and short there. Bogey Barr getting in there on the stop, and that was what Lone Star needed there, Cade.
Yeah, big time. I mean, big 3rd and 1. I'll be interested to see if London lets this one drip down to the 2-minute warning. It looks like they have enough time on the play clock to do so.
We'll see how Pickler manages the game clock here as he's in the gun. Merrill sidecar left. Pickler will take the snap before the 2-minute warning, and a dangerous pass, incomplete. Lone Star had an opportunity at an interception, but instead brings up a 4th down, and we'll have one more play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Gosh, unfortunately, it looked like he had Fox Highwind on the underneath a little bit more open than his outside target there, and for an easy 1st down. Unfortunately, didn't see him, or perhaps saw him just a little bit too late. But it does look like they are going to try to get this 1st down and seal this one away.
Gutsy move by the London coaching staff. We'll see if they run a play here or they're just trying to get Lone Star to jump. Yep, and London's going to call their first timeout. They'll have 2 remaining. I don't mind that play call there, Cade. See if you can get the free 5 yards and get the free 1st down.
You've got nothing to lose at this point. I mean, honestly, you've got the lead by 3 points. You've got all of your timeouts. Get out there and see if you can make them jump. If you do, great. I mean, what a win that is. If you don't, you take a timeout, and then there's no loss. Go ahead and punt the ball away, and your defense has been absolutely phenomenal here in the 4th quarter. We'll see if they can stand up once more.
So it will be a punt here for London. Only the 2nd all-time meeting between these two teams. Lone Star took the victory 33-14 back in season 16. Trying to pull out a victory here in London. As Soto will get the return. 1:54 on the clock, and that's going to be our 2-minute warning. Man, oh man, we got action, we got drama. Stay with us here on Next Level Sports. This is the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music. Don't go anywhere. 1:54 on the clock. Lone Star down by 3 with an opportunity to win the football game. And that's going to be an incomplete pass to start things off. Ace was looking for Deuce and just let him a bit too far there, Cade.
Yeah, just a little too far, and this is a pretty massive drive right here. I got to imagine all 4 downs will be in play. They do have all 3 timeouts as well, so if Lone Star needs to try to find a way to milk a little clock, they can. It's afforded to them, but they got to find a way to get down the field and at bare minimum kick a field goal and try to send this one to overtime.
Empty set for Fennec this time. Ace over the middle, caught by Soto. Clock gonna run as that sets up a 3rd and short. Fennec taking a lot of time here to get the ball snapped. Finally gets it. Gonna air it out. Near sideline, picked off Austin. What a play by the secondary. Jack Russell with the interception, and that could seal it. Potentially, Lone Star still with all 3 timeouts could get the ball back.
Jack Russell with his first interception of the season for the London Knights, coming up with a massive one right there. And yeah, you're right. I mean, Lone Star does have all 3 timeouts still. They have an opportunity. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I can't believe my own eyes.
It has gone back and forth all game long. I feel like Ace just got a little too greedy on that one. And it resulted in an interception. So we'll see the London Knights take over here. Johnny Pickler hit as he's thrown, and it falls to the turf. There is a penalty marker. I'm not sure what that would be.
Holding, number 57.
And it's going to be a holding on the defense. We've seen several defensive holdings called here today. And, man, that Glory sideline is going insane right now. They're furious.
Yeah, they've got to be pretty upset with themselves in the way that they've managed the game here coming down the stretch. But London, as you heard the crowd right there, this crowd is going absolutely nuts at the prospect of what they've been able to accomplish here in the second half.
Big support here for the London Knights by the Queensway faithful, as they are willing their team to get their first victory of the season. Another penalty marker as Mike St. Green is able to turn it upfield and eventually spin moves out of bounds. We'll have to see what this flag is all about.
Boy, oh boy.
This time they'll call it on the offense for holding, so that one's going to come back. And we'll replay the down. A bummer there for London, as that was an impressive play by Mike St. Green along the far sideline.
Yeah, Mike St. Green shaking people out of their boots on the sideline. Absolutely fantastic job by him. You hate to see that one come back if you are the London Knights. But yeah, nonetheless, it comes back 1st and 20 at their own 43-yard line. 1:19 to go. This clock is ticking.
1st and 20 following the penalty. Pickler, far sideline again. That's been open for him pretty much the entire second half as St. Green makes another catch, but he steps out of bounds, and that'll stop the clock at 1:15.
Yeah, that's in this particular situation not ideal. Not ideal at all in what you want to do. You got to take a slide inbounds if you can to try to keep that clock rolling.
Pickler again in the gun. Merrill sidecar left this time. Trips towards the bottom of the formation. He'll take the snap. He'll fire it towards the trip side, and that is caught inbounds this time. And that will run the clock, but Lone Star will burn their first timeout with 1:11.
And this is pretty much going to be it right here. A conversion on 3rd and 6 will put the nail in the coffin for the Lone Star Glory, but if they manage to stop the London Knights here, they will get another opportunity to try to get down and either tie or win this game.
Another big 3rd down play. We've seen plenty of them here in the second half. Pickler under center. 3rd and 6. Delayed handoff to Merrill, trying to keep the clock rolling, and Merrill almost gets the first down. He's going to be stopped just shy. 4th and maybe a chest hair at the 37.
Wow. Absolute wow. I mean, the play call, I mean, the guts it takes to go with that to begin with, based on how you've ran the ball in this game so far, is crazy. And then Robert Merrill putting the situation on his back almost gets there, and it looks like they're either going to try to draw him off or they're just going to go ahead and play it.
They might play it here, Cade. 4th and inches, 1:07 frozen on the clock. Pickler will take the snap. He steps up. He's going to throw. Far sideline picked up by a Lone Star. Glory will get the football back off a clutch interception by Mickey McGuire. And we saw it last week. Pickler with a couple head-scratching picks just like that. And that will set Lone Star up beautifully.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know, from the point where he threw the football, if Pickler just falls forward, literally just falls forward, it's a first down. He probably could take off and be content with about 3 or 4 yard gain, and that's the ball game. And that just looked like a wounded duck coming out, and is unfortunately for him picked off by Lone Star, and that gives them life here at the end with about 1.2 minutes to play.
One timeout for Lone Star as they set up at the 35. Fennick gonna throw it near sideline. That's caught by Dave Axis. He stays in bounds, eventually gets tackled out at midfield with 57 seconds frozen on the clock. Coming up on the APM Music post-game update, we'll send you out to Nevada for bonus coverage of the Tulsa Desperados and Las Vegas Fury. Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green will break down the first slate of games and preview what's next here on Next Level Sports coverage of the SFL. It's all coming up on the post-game update. From the gun, Fennick with 4 wideouts. He will air it out deep into coverage and incomplete. He tried that the last possession they had and threw a pick. London was ready for it once again, and that sets up second down.
Yeah, they needed that one bad. Great defense anyways, knocking that one back, hoping that you had a guy to rebound. And unfortunately, no one there to take advantage of it. But wow, I mean, this is coming down to it.
Coming down to the nitty gritty, as they say. 3 wideouts towards the top of the formation. Fennick under center. 52 seconds frozen on the clock. Fennick gonna sling it out to his back. McBride, who's wide open, coming out of the backfield, and she gets knocked out of bounds, but not before she moves the sticks to the London 39-yard line. 47 seconds frozen on the clock.
Wow. I mean, I got to give Lone Star just a ton of credit. They're doing a great job not only getting the ball downfield, but also putting them in a position to get out of bounds. They're not having to burn these timeouts, so they still have one left. They got the ball at the 39-yard line. They don't need too much more for a reasonable field goal shot here.
Empty set, 5 wide for Fennick. Takes the snap. Going to throw it short over the middle of the field, and that's going to run the clock. Maybe not a great play call there as they go no huddle. Deuce with the catch. 33 on the clock and counting. Going to air it out past the defense. Lone Star has it. They're going to be into the end zone. Touchdown, Greg Soto, as they take the lead.
Soto behind the defense. Soto you, Soto me, Soto in the end zone as he finds a way. And London just is scratching their heads as they cannot figure out how he found a way to get behind them. And Lone Star, against all odds, finds a way to take the lead here with 28 seconds to play. Wow, 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 wow.
Sweet mother of all that is holy. Just, you cannot make that mistake if you're London, just letting him get past you. Oh my gosh. What a play by Lone Star to take the lead here. And now that's going to be a 4-point advantage. So London needs a touchdown in order to keep themselves in the ball game with 28 seconds and 2 timeouts.
Yeah, the 2 timeouts are still key, so there's still an opportunity here. They have enough high-powered pieces on offense to try to make this happen, but you got to feel just a little bit winded knowing that you had an opportunity to seal this a little earlier and did not take advantage.
This game has gone back and forth. We've said it over and over and over again. It's gone back and forth all game long. It is not over till it's over, as Highwind will take the return and bounce it towards the far sideline before he gets dragged down at the 25. 24 seconds on the clock. London with 2 timeouts. And, hey, the Pickler's got an opportunity here, Cade. This type of offense that they're in, it's tailor-made for this type of situation.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's had, outside of just maybe 2 or 3 throws in this game, Pickler has been just absolutely phenomenal and here's his opportunity to try to make something happen late.
Pickler in the gun, trips towards the top of the formation. He will throw it opposite side, near sideline, and he'll get tackled out of bounds after a gain of 8. Vin Calia with the catch as he goes over the century mark, and that'll freeze the clock at 20 seconds.
Yeah, this is, boy, oh boy, what a game. What a game.
Could not ask. I mean, we thought we had a goodie in Carolina last week, my friend, between the Legion and the Skyhawks. And we did. But, man, this one takes the cake.
I totally agree. Totally agree. This is what makes the SFL so much fun.
Under center is Pickler. He'll take a short drop. He's going to swing it out to Merrill, who's all alone coming out of the backfield. He spins into the middle of the field, though, and London's has to burn their first timeout. Excuse me, their second timeout. They will have one remaining at 14 seconds. And we saw them botch the clock management at the end of the first half there. This time, it's looking a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I got to say, I do like the play call. I mean, they took advantage of what was given to them, which was a wide open space there on the left side of the field, and Merrill jets his way up. So 41, they're on 41-yard line, 14 seconds. They've got probably 3-ish more plays if they can play this right. They got to find a way to put themselves in position.
Over under 3 plays. Jack's data, give it to us. Pickler from the gun, over the middle into coverage, and it's picked off. Lone Star will ice the game off another Johnny Pickler interception. Albert Begin calls game.
Wow, just absolute wow. Begin coming up with a absolutely massive takeaway off of the tip drill right here. You can tell he's been practicing, and as you said, that's going to do it. That's absolutely going to do it. And Pickler, who had just such a good game up until this point, where he struggles the most is when he's got to try to find a way to force it, and unfortunately turns it over right there.
The Lone Star Glory will walk away with a hard-fought victory on the road against the London Knights across the pond in the United Kingdom. And Kate, we've said it ad nauseum at this point. I mean, it has just been such a great ball game between both of these clubs, and the Glory just had the magic towards the end there. It looked like London had every bit of the momentum here towards the latter part of the ball game, but Lone Star did just enough to keep themselves above water and to ice the game.
Absolutely. Both teams could easily go back and look at 1 or 2 plays in this game that would absolutely change the outcome drastically one way or the other. And that's how close this game was. It was back and forth, and it came down to just minor mistakes by both teams.
End of the game, 31-27. The Glory moved to 2-0, and the London Knights fall to 0-2 as we get a look at the final game stats and highlights. 3 Johnny Pickler interceptions were key in this one, Cade.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Pickler, outside of probably those 3 passes, was absolutely phenomenal in this game. I mean, easily player of the game candidate, and put the London offense on his back when they were down. They came back and they were driving. They were putting the ball in the end zone. He was playing it safe, making some really nice throws. And unfortunately, when times got a little tough, he started to have to force a few passes, and it really cost him, especially there at the end when he tried to force one down and threw the crucial interception that ended the game off the tip drill. Unfortunately for him, but Pickler, statistically, you're going to look at it and say, wow, what a day he had. Unfortunately, the 3 picks did him in.
And we were looking at it in real time and wondering if maybe Fennec was the one that was going to make those crucial mistakes that just doom his ball club with those couple really bad throws towards the end of the ball game. One of them for an interception, but it ended up being Johnny Pickler, and it ended up being this Lone Star defense that just came out on top and made sure that they took away this victory here today.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they absolutely did. And, for Lone Star, Greg Soto coming up with the big play behind the defense there to give Lone Star the victory. And Ace Fennec hanging in there, doing a fine job of delivering the football where it needed to be and really coming up clutch when it mattered the most.
Yeah, and that can't be understated. The pass from Fennec to Soto, And this is it right here. And it's just mind-boggling. It's a one-handed snag. He's past the defense, which just boggles the mind in the first place. And he gets into the end zone to take the lead right after they get a pick off of Johnny Pickler. And it looked like, maybe London had the magic, but another ill-advised throw by Pickler, and that's going to ice the game for the Glory.
That'll do the trick. That's all it takes, as we'll see our player of the game here coming up.
Player of the game got to be Ike McBride as she hits the century mark, 18 carries, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Well, on behalf of Kate Stevens and my wonderful people down on the stat truck, Max Paul and Shane Kaufman, I'm Eric Vincent. We'll send you out to Nevada for bonus coverage between the Fury and the Desperados. Thank you.
So Desperados offense can take advantage of that with, a deep throw or something. And Chris Magel is back on the field. Look at that, number 30. So he has clear concussion protocol as the pass goes up and it's incomplete. Great job by Nicky Colantrelli. They say Chris Magel has a broken nose and he's saying he's out, but I saw number 34 on the field, so he's in.
He must have been like, yeah, this will just take a quick visit to my plastic surgeon.
We welcome you to those who watch the Lone Star Glory barely beat the London Knights 31-27. This is the Las Vegas Fury and the Tulsa Desperados. Las Vegas in control of this one, 45-20, as JQ is going to throw the pass outside to Gabriel Manning, and he's got about 8 on the play. But man, shout out to Mr. Chris Magel, number 34 of the Vegas Fury. Has a broken nose. He's right there in pain. It's complete garbage time. And he is still in there fighting for his team.
They just taped him up. Who knows? There's a plastic surgeon within the team. And take a look at his nose and give him the thumbs up. But yeah, you're right. Coming back, fighting for his team. That's the kind of thing you want to see from your players.
This pass is going to go incomplete. Stephen McMichaels was the... And it's going to be a 4th and 2. Obvious. 4th down territory to go for it. You have nothing to lose. Fourth and 2. Ball at the 36. 4 wide receivers and a tight end with an empty set. Here for JQ. Q passes over the middle. Caught. Gabriel Manning. Good throw by the quarterback, JQ, as they're trying to go in the no-huddle and try to score once more before the end of the game. Q passes inside. France, first down. Vegas playing some sort of prevent defense right now. Very soft zones. Q, pump fakes, passes, inside, caught again. First down. That was Hansa Robinson with the catch. He's been quiet here in the second half. Q again. Plays again. The pass is going to be tipped and intercepted.
That's it.
The veteran, multiple-time All-Star Max Jackson gets the INT and the exclamation point.
And off of a great deflection as well. But you're right. An interception to end this afternoon's game for Las Vegas and Tulsa. They're just going to keep kneeling this down. Well, there are still timeouts for Tulsa, so they might actually have to work for the first down still. But 58 seconds is inevitable.
They're going to shotgun formation, so the backup wants to get on the stat sheet, and he will get in the stat sheet, but getting sacked. As
gets on the wrong side of the stat sheet.
Yeah, Chris Andrews gets number 2 on the day for him. We're going to take a look at 2nd and 18. As Cole Trickle is the quarterback. He's going to hand the ball off. He's had enough of getting sacked. This carry is a good one, though. For about, I will say 7 or 8 yards. That's also the backup halfback, Simon Phoenix. I wonder if Phoenix Jones got his first name out of Simon Phoenix. Maybe
Who
not.
knows? Maybe not. Well, this is also the Las Vegas Fury, whose logo is the Phoenix. So,
Yes, sir.
perhaps connections right there.
Another throw by Trickle. This one is going to go middle. Caught by Mr. Doug Britton, Mr. Do-It-All, for a pickup of 7 yards. And the Tulsa Desperados, who have no quit in them, are going to call a timeout and going to get the ball back.
Yeah, and if you're Tulsa right now, really the first 2 weeks, you kind of want to just mulligan these 2 weeks. The first week was a tough loss, but this week is even tougher because they're missing Douglas Brown. You know, it feels like there would have been a bigger expectation of them making this a more competitive game with Douglas Brown on the field. Really sorely missed. You could really feel it in the way they played. They had a lot of packages for short passes and those kind of stuff. And you really think if Douglas Brown was on the field, he would have really enabled that kind of a package to be successful.
I agree, because, he left very, very early in the game. He only had 2 carries.
Yep.
So, it's not like they lost him just in the fourth quarter. He was gone from the very start of the football game, as JQ will throw the ball deep. JQ's had another interception, and that's Mr. Broken Nose Chris Magel with the pick.
Broken Nose is not going to stop Chris Magel from making a huge defensive play. And yeah, you're right. I'm surprised he's still on the field. You think that contact on the field might just worsen that nose, but I guess he's like, I don't mind about how I look off the field because they're not looking at my nose on the field anyway.
I'm telling you, Coach John Bond is old school, man. I don't care if you have a broken nose or a broken whatever. You put your butt on the field.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be a kneel down by the backup, and it's gonna be the end of the game. And Mark, a game that was completely dominated in the second half by Vegas Fury. At halftime, this was competitive. It was 21-13, despite Douglas Brown not being on the field. It was an 8-point game, and the Vegas Fury ended up putting 24 points on the board in the second half and just running away with it.
Absolutely. And the second half, you just credit this Las Vegas defense. They tightened up, allowed 0 points for this Tulsa Desperados team in the second half. And what a showing that was for this Las Vegas defense.
So we're going to take a look at the post-game official stats. Total yards. Vegas more than 200 and something more than the Tulsa Desperados. Turnovers being a key part of it. 4 turnovers for the Desperados offense, including a fumble by King Jack Washington and 3 interceptions by JQ. And now the question is, who's your player of the game, Mr. Mark Lopez?
Suddenly, that's a tough question given the way these players have played in Las Vegas. Like, even these defensive players, incredible. Like, you just look at Chris Magel, Merrick Itera with the 4 pass deflections and 1 interception. But my game ball, I gotta give it to Scott Johnson. That 4 touchdowns is incredible. Like, what else can you ask from your running back? If he can score, if he can get you the yards, you might as well give him the game ball.
I totally agree. And in this first 2 weeks of play, Scott Johnson 400 rushing yards, which is pretty insane. He's got about 180 today alone. We go show you the rest of the highlights. Joseph Green, though, 321 yards, had 2 touchdowns, did have 2 picks, which probably puts him a little bit under Scott Johnson to me in the player of the game competition.
Yep.
But, you also have John Blades, who was incredible today.
Yeah, both him and Mason Kirby. Mason Kirby just 1 yard shy of 150 yards. Both those players incredible tonight. Just hauling down passes, thrown their way, running routes incredibly well. It's if you can't stop one aspect of the team, they just keep going back to it, and that's what they did.
Scott Johnson is your player of the game, 181 yards and 4 touchdowns. For Mark Lopez, I'm Ramos Lynn. This has been a presentation of the Simulationfl final score. Vegas 45, Tulsa 20. We'll send you back to SFL Studios for analysis and what's next after these messages. Stay tuned.
we are back.
Sim Football post game here with Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine. What a dramatic finish in London. 31-27. Clock management poor for the Knights. They're 0-2. Your reactions, Mike, straight off the field.
Fourth and one, I definitely agree with the call to go for it there. Johnny had a chance to run forward to close out the game. But unfortunately, great interception for Gunny McGuire there at the end of the game. It was kind of a no harm, no foul type situation right there, because if you go for it and don't get it, that's pretty much where it was. But the defense had played great all day and, had a breakdown there at the end. And congrats to Lone Star on a great game.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that, even if you throw a pick there, even if they get a field goal, you're still going to overtime, but you can't give up the touchdown in that situation, and that's exactly what happened. London goes down. Tulsa blew out Tulsa 45-20. It was a mess. They did a nice job in the first half after Douglas Brown got hurt, but nobody can tackle Scott Johnson through 2 weeks. I mean, this is scary.
Yeah, Scott Johnson, he's definitely putting in his early candidacy for MVP, definitely offensive player of the season early in this season, man. He's been great. 4 touchdowns today. I know he had 200+ yards last week. I know over 150 in this game. Excellent start to the season for Scott Johnson, and it was a great job getting Vegas up to 1-1.
Here's what's coming up in the second block of our coverage here on Next Level Sports. Carolina and San Diego, and then always a big game in the Pacific, Los Angeles and Vancouver. 2 straight seasons, LA has won the first meeting of 2 between these teams and then lost the second down the stretch of the season to lose the division to Vancouver. But here on Next Level Sports, a couple of teams that had really positive week ones, one in a win, one in a loss.
And yeah, Cam, as you mentioned, we know we're going to get fireworks out of LA and Vancouver, but Carolina and San Diego, both of these teams put up huge numbers last week. Carolina in a loss, of course. Logan Jack was great for Carolina last week. He led all rushes last week, 228 yards, a couple of touchdowns. And also for the Carolina team, Keith McDaniel Jr. had a breakout game. He had almost right at 200 yards and a couple of touchdowns. So that Carolina offense is great. Can they do something with this rookie quarterback, Scar Patterson? He made his rookie debut last week, had a huge game, 406 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he got most of those to the huge free agent signing coming over from the Sioux Falls Sparrows, Gunnar Lewis. He went over 200 yards and a couple of touchdowns. So it should be a matchup of great offenses here. We'll see how this thing turns out here in a few minutes, Cam.
It's been your Sim Football post-game / pregame, and we're getting ready in San Diego. Colin and Rick Northrup have the call. When we come back, you are watching the SFL presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports.